All right, welcome everyone to our May Cooking with the Plant Docs. I'm Dr. Musial for anyone that's new, and we're going to make sushi and spring rolls that are plant-based. And everything we make here at Plant Docs, every ingredient is good for you. Every ingredient has a gift for your body, many gifts. And that's the way eating should be, right? The food we eat should actually be healing and good for us. So, and not detract from our health. So we're going to talk about spring rolls and sushi, both that maybe are like, what? That seems really complicated, but they're not. It's more like prepping the ingredients that are going to go in, and making them is actually really fun. So, but normally I don't make both, just so you know. I usually pick one or the other, but since they have similar ingredients, I thought it made sense to just show you both ways. And then if you want to try one or the other or both, you can. So for the sushi, what takes the longest is cooking the rice, obviously. And I don't, we use whole grain everything. So this is brown rice, brown sushi rice. And if you can't find something called sushi rice, you can just get brown medium grain rice. I'm going to put I have this kind of medium saucepan. And for brown sushi rice, it's 1.5 cups of water to 1 cup of rice. So I'm going to put that on high to boil. And this brand is called Nishiki. Don't ask me where I got it because it was a while ago, but it was probably Whole Foods. What the directions on the bag say are to soak the rice for a half an hour
It should be a safe.
first. So I have this soaking, and I'm just going to let it drain now. One of the reasons they kind of recommend soaking it in the pan and then cooking it, but sometimes brown rice can be contaminated with arsenic. So one way to reduce that possibility is buy rice that's from California, has less, but also soaking it helps reduce, take out the arsenic, rinsing it and soaking it. So I rinsed it, and I'm just going to add it to the boiling water when it boils. And then that rice actually only cooks in 30 minutes as opposed to normal long grain brown rice, which takes 40 minutes. So that's a good thing. So I'm going to set my sushi things aside because we're going to make that second. And the next thing I'm going to do is steam my veggies. So I'm using this kind of medium pot with a steamer basket in it. One of these adjustable ones that fits in all different size. A little bit of water in the bottom. I'm just going to heat this up. And then I'm going to get my vegetables ready that I'm going to julienne and add to the steamer basket. And I'm going to end up with more than I need because, you're putting a little bit of a lot of different things in. So one of the things we talk about at Plant Docs is eating the rainbow. And we've kind of succeeded in doing that here, or close to it. If you want the fiber from the sweet potato, you can leave it on, obviously. But I think for the purpose of this, I don't really want the skin on. But if I were to make a baked sweet potato or sweet potato kind of baked fries, I leave the skin on and eat it. So one thing I do when I bake sweet potatoes is, like I said, I don't peel it. I'll cut it in half the long way, and then I'll take like in the toaster oven, a baking sheet with parchment paper, and with the skin on, I put it face down for 30 minutes, and it just cooks so much faster than a whole, if you're trying to do a whole baked potato. All right, my sushi rice is going in. Hey Siri, set timer for 30 minutes.
30 minutes, starting now.
We're just going to bring that rice back up to a boil and then simmer it. So I'm going to slice this with the flat side down so it's safe and make, the idea is to make sticks. So you can line different things in together in either the, kind of the long way, either in the spring roll or in the sushi roll. And when we cut them up thin like this, they're not going to take long to cook. I'm doing a retreat for in Bristol in June, just like a cooking demonstration. And this is actually the recipe I'm going to do with it's a women's retreat. If anyone's interested, we can put information on it in the chat. But it's like a 4-day kind of wellness retreat. But I'm going to bring like a bunch of things like this and do a demonstration, and then everyone's kind of make their own. So you can imagine this would be kind of fun with a group of friends making spring rolls together. I used to do it with my kids too. It's a great way to get kids to eat vegetables because they can make it, like tailor it how they want it. They have control over the food, their food, which they love to have. That's going to be plenty. The other things, I grow my own asparagus. So I just thought you might find it interesting that for people that aren't familiar, if you, this is how like it literally comes out of the ground like this. I don't know which picture you're looking at, but so if you get it when it's like a foot tall, it looks like what you find in the supermarket. But if you leave it a little bit too long, it starts to branch out and have all these little mini asparagus that come off the side, which tastes really good. So these I'm going to cut, the size of the spring roll or the sushi, and maybe have them do slivers or, it doesn't have to be so perfect. Asparagus this fresh from the garden doesn't even need to be cooked. It's so tender, sweet. So this is only going to take a second in the steamer. And if you guys have questions as I'm chopping and eating, just shout them out. Asparagus, one of the gifts it has, it's known to be a really powerful prebiotic. So how that's different from a probiotic is it feeds the bacteria in your gut as opposed to contributing to more bacteria in your gut biome. So it's just a very healthy vegetable to eat. All right. And then my carrot, I'm going to steam. If it's organic, you don't have to peel it. The skin, it's not really skin, but the outer layer has, a little bit more fiber. So that's a personal preference. I find it a little scratchy. So, oops. Do you want that, Bodhi? Do you want that? I have pugs that smell carrots. I don't know. I think I hear my the rice I'm turning down to a simmer. And excuse me, Bodhi. I feel like the sweet potatoes are gonna take a while, so I'm gonna add those first. So maybe I'll do those all together. Maybe I should use the bigger pan. while I'm getting everything else ready, those sweet potatoes can steam. Carrots are really high in beta carotene. Carotenoids are the one of the many gifts carrots offer, along with fiber. And this is the time consuming part. Because I remember I used to love doing this for my family, but it was like a lot of chopping and prepping to get everything ready. So that's that. And then you can kind of mix and match. So I am going to, you guys want the ends of those? I love these little cucumbers. The seeds are like really non-existent. Um, the cucumbers, obviously, I'm not going to cook. All right. I'm also going to put in avocado for like healthy fat. So we'll just cut this. Let's take that little thing off the end. And I'm going to cut just in half. And then I twist it. And then I smack the pit and twist, and it just lifts it out. And the secret with avocados, I think the biggest complaint that I hear is that people don't know when they're ripe or they're overripe. And I eat them all the time, so I have like perfected this. I you buy them not ripe. You leave them on a bowl on the counter. I check them every day, and when they start to, give a little bit, it's usually one more day. And then when they, feel a little soft, I put them in the fridge. And then they stay at that kind of halts their ripening, and then they just stay beautiful for a few days. So I guess, since I eat them every day, I've kind of got it down. So anyway, we have that. I'm going to try a new method with the pepper. It's kind of like an onion. There's so many ways to cut a pepper, but this is Chef Laura, who I sometimes work with, taught me this at this. We went to Crepalo together, and this is how she did it. She cut off the top, and then she cut off the bottom. I didn't quite. This bottom is very. It's fun. Looks like a flower. And then she cut it once down the side, and then she ran a knife, like unfolding this whole. Oh, it's working pretty well. So then you kind of have, then you just have this big, you okay? Pepper that you can just slice. But then you're left also with these weird bumpy things that maybe are not, I'll use them, don't worry. I won't throw them out. And then you can pop out this stem, and you have this whole piece. So kind of like that method. And then you can cut it this way. It's a little unwieldy. I'm not a chef, by the way. I'm just a physician who's become passionate about teaching people to use food as medicine instead of just putting everyone on drugs. If we could just eat better to lower our blood pressure, lower our LDL cholesterol, lower our A1C, we wouldn't need to go on so many medications. Um, so, but it's hard if you don't know how to cook, or you're kind of sick of what you're cooking and you want to learn something new. It's nice to have that. All right, let me check everything. Um, so sushi rice, how are you doing? Looks good. I'm gonna check on the sweet potatoes. Wow, those went fast. All right. So now I'm gonna put in my carrots. And let's see. I'm not going to put them in at the same time. The carrots take longer. So where's my... I'm going to steam the carrots. And then okay, the next thing I want to show you. So for the spring rolls, we need buckwheat noodles. I don't want to use white rice vermicelli like you find in most spring rolls. So like I like taking things that I love and turn them into something really healthy. So if you go to Asian markets, you can find healthier noodles that are made with whole grains. So these are buckwheat noodles. They do have wheat in them, but you can find pure buckwheat and then they're gluten free. And they come in these cute little packages that are like individually wrapped. So I'm going to heat up yet another pan just with some water, and they take 5 minutes to cook. So,
And Sandy, there was a question. Did you take the sweet potatoes out of the steamer before you put the carrots in? Or
I
are they
did.
still, you
I
did?
did. They were done. So here are the sweet potatoes. They're actually more than done. That they probably could have gone a couple minutes less. I was thinking they were going to take more time. So I transferred them to this plate. I'm going to try to put everything pretty. So like if you have friends over, you can make this kind of beautiful collection of items that I'm going to add to. Um, just going to move my carrots around. All right. So after I steam the carrots, then I'll put the asparagus. I'm doing them separately because they take different times. And I don't want, if I did them all at the same time, the asparagus would be overcooked, the potatoes would be undercooked. I don't want that. So those are things. All right. The other thing I want to put in, which is optional, all of these things are optional, right? Pick what you love. But mushrooms are really good for you. I chopped them up ahead of time, but they basically came in a box. I've never seen them so small. There's some like, where'd the little guy go? There are like some that are like mini, tiny little mushrooms. Here he is. Like this guy is like tiny, tiny, tiny. And then this guy's, was the size of most of them. And so the ones that were this size, I just kind of cut them into 3 pieces. And then I'm going to saute these. Most time when I buy shiitakes, they're bigger, and I would just slice them. But you do want to cook them. So I'm going to use another nonstick pan to put it on medium, just a little, not too hot. And then I'm going to use a little bit of veggie broth if needed. I may not need it. Have it over there. And then the last, maybe not the last, I have a lot of ingredients. This is smoky tofu, which this is the brand. It's Soy Boy. Not sure what the camera's on. Soy Boy. If you ate the whole package, it's 40 grams of protein. It comes in 2 squares like this, and it has no oil in it. It's pretty much Plant Docs approved for something that's prepared, because normally I buy tofu plain and season it myself, but this is really good. It's called smoked tofu. And this is going to increase like the protein content of this dish. So I'm just going to cut it into sticks. That's the theme today. Everything's becoming a stick. So I'm going to cut it once this way and then sticks. And you can eat it just like this. So, like, I made a salad for lunch yesterday, and I love making salads and just throwing like everything on them. But I cut up this and put it on my salad. So that's our tofu. I'm going to throw these mushrooms in the saute pan, and they're going to release their own juices. The buckwheat noodles are ready to go in. The water's boiling. Sorry, I'm kind of all over the place because there's so many different components. Hey Siri, set timer for 5 minutes.
5 minutes starting now.
All right. The buckwheat noodles are in. And I'm gonna just check on my carrots. Carrots are great. So when I take them out of the steamer basket, I just kind of do that to get them out. And now I'm gonna add the asparagus to the steamer basket. I checked on the rice. I always like checking on things just to make sure it's not burning or like I accidentally turned something up and the heat's too high. There's a lot of things happening right now. I don't normally have four pots going at once. But so the rice is cooking, it's on a low simmer. The asparagus is now in the steamer basket, and that is not going to take long. I'm actually just going to turn that off now because I don't want to overcook that. Checking on the buckwheat noodles, and as the mushrooms heat up, they're going to release their own juices. I kind of want to give them a little bit of flavor. So I'm just going to take a little bit of tamari or aminos and sprinkle them with that. Just cooking. You don't have to do that, but I think it'll make them more yummy. So these are our mushrooms. They're looking good, but they're going to take a little bit of time. All right, so
Sandy,
now,
do you have a recommendation for a non-stick skillet?
I have a love-hate relationship with them. I keep throwing them out, and then my stepdaughters just bought these, and they're called Red Chef. And I think they're ceramic. I think when I'm the only cook in the kitchen, I won't have nonstick pans personally because I don't know what's in the coating. They're brand new, so they're working really well.
I have green pan and I also have caraway.
Do you
Um,
like them?
I do like them, but similar to you, I have other people who cook in my kitchen, and I think that they've um, ruined the
Peppered
nonstick a little bit because you're not supposed to cook with very high heat with them. And
and just wooden spat,
yeah,
I know if they get scratched, then they're compromised, and then I feel like I'm eating chemicals. So
yeah. I mean, I do like mine. I just think that my kids have probably ruined them a little bit, but
yeah, so I haven't bought any expensive ones. I usually get stuff at Home Goods for those pans, but they got these online. Yeah, okay. see. So we have a lot going on, but we're almost ready to start putting our spring rolls together. What I did with the avocado is I just sliced it with a knife. And then I love using just a big spoon because look, it's like the same shape. So you just kind of scoop the whole thing out like that, and you don't have any waste. And then you can look at the back because sometimes on the back side that's touching the skin, there's some browning. So then you can just remove anything that isn't like to your liking, or if there's like a little bruise, it'll turn a little, it'll be oxidized, so it turns a little black. And then you have your fanned out avocado. Hey, Sarah. So that's our 5 minutes. Just giving my mushrooms a stir. They look really good. I'm going to turn the heat way down and let them cook a little more. All right. So these are the buckwheat noodles. All set to go. I drained them in the sink and then I rinsed them with cold water so I can handle them. So I'm just going to leave them draining over like this bowl. We're almost ready to put them together. All right. So here's the asparagus. So here. Like I could just eat this, but we're gonna put it all together into a nice package. Here are the mushrooms. No oil. Um, I didn't even add any broth. So yeah, I mean, look at this pan. It really is amazing as a nonstick pan. Like I said, they're brand new, so they tend to function really well, but I am impressed. We have two of these, two sizes. Um, But one of the benefits of a nonstick pan is that you don't need to, I mean, we do everything with no oil and we teach you how to do that, but it's even, less important when you have a pan that works like that. All right. There's a few secrets with making this. So these are harder to find. This is like what you'll find in a traditional Asian market. They're these paper, very thin, they're hard. They don't even feel like a food substance. These are from rice. I'm not sure like how much better these are, but these are from brown rice. And it's Vietnamese brown rice spring roll wrappers. I don't even see the brand on it. I don't know if I ripped it off of the top, but it says women owned. I like that. So anyway, I think I found these at Whole Foods, but they last forever on the shelf because they're just dried rice. So what I do is get a big bowl of hot water. Oh, sorry, Rudy. And then I also have fresh herbs here. I have basil and I have cilantro. My favorite for these is Thai basil, which is hard to find. I'm growing it. I found it at our local Southside Community Land Trust in Providence, Rhode Island, has this amazing plant sale last weekend, and I got some little tiny Thai basil plants that I'm going to grow. It tastes similar to basil, but it's like a little more minty. I guess I'll put it here for now so you can see. But then I won't be able, hang on, I gotta rethink my process. I think I'm gonna put my veggies here. Okay, you can still see that. And I'll put my plate here and my water here. So if you wait till they're soft, you've gone too far. And they'll just be this floppy mess and they'll stick to everything. So you just put them in and they still feel hard and you think that's not going to work, but hopefully it does. And then I put the noodles in and you want to just stay like in the middle kind of because we want to fold in the sides. And the other common mistake is overfilling it. So I'm going to try not to do that, but it's hard because you're like, oh, that looks delicious and I want more of this or that. I think I'll put in the cucumber. I want like all fresh stuff here. I want the tofu. I'm going to save the sweet potato for the sushi. And I'm going to put in basil. Love basil. Love cilantro. So if you hate cilantro, leave it out. And then you fold up the side. Oh, maybe I didn't go in long enough. Let's see. Yep, I'm going to re-dip this one. You usually go too long. I've never not gone long enough, but it's kind of, I'm going to go one more second. All right. Now I have all my stuff all ready to just transfer over. And then you want to fold up the sides first. And then like a burrito, like an egg roll. And that's, it's like that simple. Let me try one more. And you can, vary your ingredients. So let's see, I always do the noodles because, we do like any bean, any green, any grain. So like our bean is tofu, our grain is the buckwheat, and then we have, our peppers, or if is like the fruit, and then everything else is like the vegetable. I'm worried about going too long, but that other one maybe I didn't go long enough. All right, starting to. All right, that's good. Usually you don't have to go that long. I don't know if these are older and that's why, but so we'll do the noodles. And I just use my hands because it's faster. I'm going to put avocado in this one with cucumber, tofu, carrots, asparagus, yum. Fold up the sides, tuck everything in. My cucumbers are a little too long. And then as you fold up the one side, I kind of push all the ingredients in together and then continue wrapping. And then it will stick together. Hey, Siri, off. All right. So that is the spring rolls. We're going to make a sauce for the spring rolls in a second. But let me check on the sushi rice.
Sandy, while you're doing that, I'll just want to let everybody know that we are taking a break over the summer with our cooking classes. So you won't see us these classes in June, July, August. We're going to pick back up in September. We do have two Food for Life cooking classes scheduled in June, and those are with Plant Doc Janet Limke. And I'll put the link to those in the chat if anybody's interested.
This is for, can you see that?
Yep.
It has the June 4th is the power of your plate with featuring green monster smoothie, braised kale, quick black bean chili. And June 18th is breaking the food seduction, fruited breakfast quinoa, ginger noodles, red curry chickpea, and sweet potato soup. So, and this is Dr. Limke. She's one of the plant docs. Sorry, that's a weird reflection from my life. But it's on our website. You can see more details there. All right, so I'm going to use, for the sushi, I'm going to do more like mushrooms, sweet potatoes, tofu, asparagus, and avocado. So my rice doesn't look super sticky, so I don't know. We'll see. Oh wait, let me just read the directions. I think I'm supposed to add place rice, let's soak, soft boil, cook for 30 minutes, remove from heat and let stand covered for 10 minutes. So we don't quite have, I guess we can wait a little bit. And then you add, it's on this direction. You add 2 tablespoons of rice vinegar to the sushi rice. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And there's different kinds of rice vinegar. I get this Marucan organic rice vinegar. Sorry, I put the cap on so I can. It's the ingredients are just organic rice vinegar diluted with water. You don't want to get like the seasoned one, then it has like sugar and all kinds of stuff in it. And I'm just going to mix that up. So while that's, I'm going to crack my door a little bit. Thanks. Get a nice breeze. All right, we're going to make the, we'll try these mushrooms. All right, those are really good. I've never seen such tiny little shiitakes. So this is our dipping sauce for the spring rolls. It's 3 tablespoons of peanut butter. 1, 2, 3. 1 tablespoon of rice vinegar. 1 tablespoon of tamari or soy sauce or aminos. 1 teaspoon of maple syrup. I'm using the tablespoon, but only putting a teaspoon worth in, just to make it easier. All right, and then I'm going to clean off this. Just kind of combine it. And we're also going to add some fresh ginger and garlic. So I just smash the garlic to loosen the paper on it, and it helps it kind of fall right off like that.
Sandy, do you have a
Yeah.
brand of peanut butter you used?
I didn't buy this. This is Teddy All Natural, but the ingredients are just peanuts and salt. Phew. I usually buy a different brand, but it ran out. That's someone else's.
Yeah, and I would also say you can also substitute other nut butters like almond butter or even tahini.
Mmm, that would be great. All right, I'm putting some, that's a lot of garlic, and fresh ginger. So you can use the back of a spoon for this. You can use a knife. If it's organic, you can just eat the skin. It's if it's going to be all grated up. So I'm not like super worried about that. We're going to add, it says 1 teaspoon. So I'm just going to kind of guesstimate. Can you have too much ginger? Ginger is super anti-inflammatory and anti-cancer, heart healthy. It's really good for you. So I love having ginger on hand. What I'm going to do after this class, I ordered a lot. So I'm going to take the ginger, skin it, and grate it all, and then just freeze it all because it doesn't have like a super long shelf life. This was probably, it's too thick for a whisk. So I'm going to add a little bit of water because this is more like a paste, which let's just see how delicious it is. Mm. All right, I'm going to add some water. I didn't measure, but it was probably like 2 tablespoons. Um, you can see how it changes color when you add water. Dilutes it out a little bit. So that's like a thick dipping sauce. Still tastes good. This is personal preference. Gonna add a little more water. Maybe my whisk will work now. So it's getting thinner. And then like you can take your dipping sauce and put it in little ramekins, or like little sushi dishes to dip your spring roll in to serve it. So that's ready to go for the spring roll. Definitely gonna try this. All right, I'm gonna try it right now. I know we're almost. Um, so this is, I don't know which one's which, but this is one of the spring rolls I wrapped up. I'm gonna dip it and try it. Mm. See the, that's really, I could eat this every day. It's it's really good. The sauce is killer. Seriously, I would eat that every day. All right, let's see if our sushi rice is gonna work out. Fingers crossed. Um,
There was a question about serving size for planning for a group.
uh,
Um,
I mean, like for my thing, it's going to be an appetizer. So like they're going to each have one. If it's like dinner, I could probably eat three if there's nothing else. But, I usually make them as an appetizer. So this is a sushi rolling mat, which is not essential to this, but it definitely helps. This is nori, which is just a kind of seaweed that um it comes in these sheets. This is like your standard sushi size. And now I'm forgetting if it's shiny side up or down. If anyone knows, or Wendy, if you can look that up.
I
I'm not
will.
sure. I'm not sure how important that is. I think shiny side down. But the other thing you can do, you can roll it just like this, but you can also toast it for a second if you have a gas stove. So I don't know if you can see. I'm just gonna wave it across the gas burner and it toasts it just ever so slightly. All right. And now for the moment of truth. Let's see, my little lines went away.
Shiny side down.
All right, that's right. Good.
Um, Also, do you know if the spring rolls last in the fridge?
No,
No.
no, that rice paper stuff, it does not. Um, even like if you get them from a restaurant and you save them, like it gets all dried out the next day. And one thing I'll do is wet a paper towel, wrap it in the paper towel and microwave it. It'll absorb some of the moisture, but they're just never quite the same as when they're fresh. So I'm kind of spreading this with a spoon. So what you want to do is wet your fingers so the rice doesn't stick to your finger um, to spread it out. It's working pretty well. Um, you want to get it nice and thin and about 2/3 of it. Um, the bottom 3/4 of the square. So this way makes more sense because we're going to roll it. All right. This is fun, by the way. Anyone not cooking, you got to try this. It might look intimidating, but so it's just pushing the rice down in a flat layer, leaving a little bit uncovered. And now you want to so I was going to go with like sweet potatoes. You want to put your ingredients toward the end. Don't overstuff it, Sandy. That's one of the rules. Um, Mushrooms, I'm going to put in. These are kind of weird. Like they're probably going to fall out and be messy. I normally get bigger ones with like longer slices, would make more sense, but whatever. It's all going to taste good. Put in my asparagus. You can put like the fun heads of them sticking out the sides. And then let's see, sweet potatoes, avocado. I want, this looks like a very thick piece. So I'm going to cut this in half. That. And I don't think I want, I want the basil. Optional if you don't like it. But I think it adds like another depth of flavor. And then these will be just enjoyed with like tamari, or you could do the dipping sauce. But so then you just roll it up the same way. First, I'm going to you want ideally your rice and rice to match, and all the ingredients are inside the rice and they're surrounded by the vegetables are surrounded by rice. And then if you take your mat at this point, you can help contain everything. So you get kind of a nice, perfect shape roll, which is harder to do if you don't have the mat, but it's not impossible. You saw I was rolling it without it. And then if you take a knife, I like using a serrated knife and heat it up in warm water. So the end ones are always like weird and the stuff's hanging out the side. Where'd my asparagus? There he is. Looks professional, doesn't it? Even the little mushroom guys are staying in there. And you could keep the end piece bigger. I'm not going to try to cut that again because it would, and it has like the fun stuff sticking out. And then if you put like a little tamari in here, or I have these fancy little, here.
Sandy, how wide are you cutting those? Like about an inch, would you say?
Yes, an inch. I also have, here it is. You can buy this wasabi in a tube, which is actually a cruciferous vegetable, believe it or not. So it has like that sulforaphane, anti-cancer thing in it. Super hot, similar to horseradish. So if you like, you can add that to your tamari or soy sauce. It's just like at a Japanese restaurant. So I'm afraid to put a whole one in my mouth because then I won't be able to talk for like a minute. But we're right about at time, so I am going to eat one, but I'm going to put it on gallery so I can see everyone. Did anyone else? Anyone else brave? Sarah, I see apron. What did you make?
I'll show you. I did the sushi. Let's see if I
Yay!
can make it. And I did the other thing too. It's in the other room. That's this.
Beautiful. That is impressive. See, if Sarah can do it, you guys can do it. Did anyone else cook?
Oh, and I did this guy too. I don't know if you can see it.
Mmm,
I haven't eaten
beautiful.
any of them yet, so we don't know how they taste, but thank you.
Looks
You're
like
gonna love
you made
them.
the sushi.
Hmm?
I said Julie made the sushi.
Oh, all right.
Oh, Trinky did the sushi.
It's not hard. I think, I had never done it, and I like won a sushi making class with a neighbor when my kids were in grade school. So the first time I did it, it was with, people who knew what they were doing, and it helped. But if you just do it, and if you run into a roadblock, just YouTube it. There might be some trial and error. I don't know. Has anyone ever tried it and failed, and so they never wanted to try it again? I could give you some advice.
I failed at the spring rolls, but then I just ended up eating everything with a fork and it was fine.
Oh, my other trick with the spring rolls I wanted to share, because sometimes that can get really hard. It gets all floppy. So one thing I'll do is put the nori down first, and then you're going to get all the benefits from the nori, which is like amino acids and where'd my spring rolls go? Protein all different kinds of nutrients are found in seaweed that you don't get elsewhere. And then I put my rice paper, so it's kind of a spring roll sushi combo. I just have my rice paper and water, just waiting for it to thin, soften. But you don't want to go too long. But if you then take it and put it on the nori gives it structure so it doesn't fall apart. And then you can kind of take your time filling it. And it's not like as much of a, I feel like it's like you kind of have to rush with this spring roll stuff. So anyway, this is just another spring roll sushi combo that I love. This is how I usually do it. So, and you can put the sauce, like you could take the peanut sauce and put it right in the roll too, like that, which is yummy. I think my cucumbers are a little too long. That's okay. Add some spice herbs. Any other questions while I'm playing with my food? You guys have to try this because they're just delicious and fun. But you see, when you combine the spring roll with the nori, the nori just holds in the spring roll, and then you get the benefit of the chewy spring roll and the the health benefits of seaweed iodine.
I have a question.
Yeah,
The nori that I used, it's kind of chewy. Like, I just tried one, and that happens sometimes with sushi. I don't know if it's the kind I bought or what I did, but that it tastes really good. But the seaweed itself is kind of part of it that was.
I think if you toast it longer, it
Mm.
will take that chewiness away and make it easier to eat.
Yeah, I didn't toast it at all. I forgot
Yeah,
that.
that is the difference. All right, guys. Well, thanks for coming to our cooking class. I hope you're inspired to make these healthy, delicious spring rolls and sushi rolls. It's great to see all your friendly faces.
And
Bye, everyone.
join
Yep.
us again in
Bye, thank
September.
you.
Yeah, see you all in September.